value of x, okay, that will make that equation work properly. Now, you've also got what we call an inequality. The difference between an inequality and an equation is that in the case of an inequality, rather than you having an equality sign, what you'll be having is an inequality sign. For instance, 2x plus 3y is greater than or equal to 4x plus 2y. Now, this is an inequality because it's got an inequality sign. It could be greater than or equal to, it could be less than, it could be less than or equal to, or whatever, but it remains an inequality equation. Okay, so whatever it is. Now, we will do more about this next time we meet. But under these equations, you can have formulas. A formula is when you want to get an unknown using some known parameters. For instance, the formula of area is length times breadth. For a triangle, for a rectangle, right? It's length times breadth. Now, you know the length and you know the breadth, then you should be able to find the area. Okay? So if I tell you A equals to LB, find A when L is 2 and B is 6, all you need to say is A equals to 2 times 6, which is 12. Now, an equation could be a formula when you've got some known parameters and you've got just one unknown parameter, like in this case. So let's look at some interesting equations you might have come across in other courses of yours. So an example of a formula formulas. One of them is the common one you know in physics, V equals to U plus AT. Now, this is a formula in physics. You don't need to worry about how it came about, but this is an example of a formula. You could be told to find U, find V. If U is 20, if A is 5, and T is 2. Okay? All you need to do is substitute for all these letters in this equation, and you get your V. V is equal to U plus AT, that's U, which is 20, put a bracket, plus A, which is 5, times T, which is 2. That's 20 plus 10, because 5 times 2 is 10, and that gives you 30. So you know what V is now. That's why we call it a formula, because if you know other letters, you should be able to find out the other one, the unknown. Now, there are times you will need to do some more complex problems, like if you've got S is equal to square root of L over G to the power B, for instance, okay? And then you've got plus C squared, and you're told that where B equals to 3, C equals to 2, L equals to 4, and G equals to 1, find S. It's still a formula, right? So all you need to do is put in all these values into this equation. So it becomes square root of 4 over 1. Then raise that to the power 3, because that's B, plus C squared, which is 2 squared. Now that gives you, what's the square root of 4? 2 to the power 3, plus 2 to the power 2. And that gives you 8 plus 4, which is 12. So this is exactly how to substitute parameters into your formula and get your answer. But what we really love to do with formulas is to make one of the letters the subject of the formula. So for example, we'll be looking at change